Hey guys, my name is Zediac and welcome back to another episode of Subway Builder where we continue to expand our company through New York City and surrounding areas. I can't ignore New Jersey all the way over here right now. Last episode, we created this brand new line that goes from the bottom of Coney Island, tearing through, picking up a bunch of people, but also we kind of connected up for the first time LaGuardia, boys. And oh my goodness me, this has now really set ourselves up for sorting out all of the lines that are going to run through Queens. Now, last episode, I kind of told you the idea or kind of mentioned it, that we might need to redo something with our loop system, because I feel like our loop system right now is kind of, I won't say pointless. It is technically the least used lines, or one of them. Bearing in mind, you got to add the numbers together because it's pretty much the same line going back and forth, but hey ho, there you go. But it only really serves a minute portion, and I kind of feel like it needs to be gotten rid of and then replaced with line extensions, because Queens doesn't have the infrastructure, because I feel like this loop system is kind of stopping it. Now, before I get onto exactly what I mean, I just want to say right now, if you are enjoying this series, then please make sure you smash that like button down below. Subscribe if you are new around here so you do get notified when more episodes do come out. And leave a comment saying, Q4, play some more, and we'll do just that. So, we need to work with Queens, and what we've got right now is a bunch of lines ready to kind of dive a little bit deeper. We've got this light blue line down here, we've got this purple line here, which clearly you can see they can extend going more north, but we need more east and west lines that go through the heart of Manhattan. Now, it's all well and great bringing it on to connecting to the loop line, but then they're going to make another transition. So it's like coming up to then transition onto the loop lines and then transition onto that to, it's kind of a bit of a pain. Now, we know that this big, beautiful, normal blue line right now is actually pretty useful. It's up here right now with 250,000 people, and that goes from JFK all the way through the heart of Manhattan into New Jersey. And we need more lines like that, and it should pretty much set us up quite nice. So, this is what I'm about to say right now. We are going to delete the loop lines, and we're going to change them into line extensions through Queens and through Long Island to transport more people. Right, I've said it, now I've got to do it. Now I've got to do it. So, if I grab the ICA line first, and I think we have to get rid of the trains first before we do anything. I could be wrong, but let me just, is it just clear schedule? Yes, it's as easy as that. And then can I just then delete the line? Why can't I delete the line? I can't delete the line because there is currently trains on it. Let me fast forward for them trains to disappear then. And while I wait for that, we'll do the ICC line. We'll clear the schedule. And then maybe I can just delete the trains like that real quick. And then does that allow me? Yes, to delete the line. And then to delete you. Right, they are now gone, which means the train tracks become white, where a line once used to run. Which is going to really mess up right now a lot of people's journeys, because, you know, they were using the looped system, but we want to change it. So this is the idea right now then. We're going to make the bottom part of the loop line system here extend going out that way, obviously, but it's going to come across. I'm going to redo all of this here. It's going to come across, and it's eventually going to link up to this bit here that sticks out. So that's one of the things that we've got to do. Now, at some point, right, it does merge onto that. And you can kind of see, actually, we can kind of bring it across. It goes up to here, and it merges onto the blue line system here, which follows it down to then cross over on that system. That's how we're going to link that. And then the gaps in here is where these two lines run up and then cross over the blue line, creating more of those connections. Now, the other one up here, the north part of the loop, is going to connect into the train station at LaGuardia and then run down this way. It might pretty much run all the way down. Actually, I'm not too sure where it's going to go. It'll either stop there or kind of continue down and then do something on this junction that we're going to create. And then we have the west line, or that's pretty much taken up by the brown line. So you'll see more people then using that. And then the orange line is supporting. And then the east part of the loop here, this is something that we're going to have to figure out of where we want it to run. Now, in reality, there's nothing stopping me linking the purple line up because it's going to cross the blue line at some point. It was mainly kind of coming up here to kind of give us that coverage. So I've got two options here. What I could do is I could change the south section here into a dual line. And what that would do, as it comes across, one part of it goes up, the other part comes through here and then kicks in. So I've got a couple of possibilities to what we could do there. And I think that might be the way. So let's first focus then on the south line. Now, before I redo all that, I think we're going to work with this area first and just figure out how this is going to flow. Because I've got this 4-lane section here, which I think that's predominantly where the... Oh, no, it's not going to get... Oh, actually, do you know what? That's through another spanner in the works for me again. Right, the two lines linking from that, one's going to go this way, and then one is going to come round and cross over in that way. Ooh, that just got exciting. So I might not ever use the blue line extension. Interesting. Right, anyway, let's figure this out then. So that line's going to run down to here, and we'll get to cross and go into there. So I'm wanting something to kind of turn this way, which will bring round, and that will follow up there. Perfect. Right, we have it figured out, boys. We have it figured out. So let's make this then a -5. And I can't remember if this yellow line is still elevated through this section. So let me first see where I can do what I can do here. So that will cross there, but it won't cross there. So I think that needs to be a -10. So we can do it there just fine, which is great. And then it'll extend into that. No questions asked. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So then I'll go back to a -5 here. To where now it's a bit tricky at this point, but I think I'm going to be following this run and then crossing in. So it might be a case of where I then get to crisscross on this station. So that's where we're going to make that little connection there. So I reckon we do a train connection just here. But then where's that next one going to go? It's like I either do 1 or 2. I think 1 will be fine. I think 1 will be fine. So then running down, we've also got to then think about where these are going to run. So I know this blue line's going to cross here. So if I incorporated my station just there, and then the blue line's going to cross on that part, and then everything in between is pretty then much up to me. So I'll do a connection or a station there, and I'll do a quick station just there. Right, this is perfection already. Now, where's this next line, this purple line, going to connect? Now, like I did say, I could have it going that way, but I'm not sure if I want it to. There's actually nothing stopping me from doing that, but it opens up this, but then again, we've got that one crossing through. Okay, do you know what? We're going to have that cross into there. But there is a point where I need it to do the merger. But I think the merger of the 4 lines coming off this anyway. So, right. We'll design it where we cross over, or under, I should say, and the junction there. So I'm going to end up deleting all of this. So what I'll do is I'll delete this. Delete the tracks. Delete this all going back. Do I keep that station in? I mean, that's going to be the real question now, isn't it? I'm going to get rid of all of you, get rid of all of you, and I'm going to get rid of you just to there. I'm just going to leave that to there just so I can kind of figure this out real quick. So, do I want it to run through all of this, or should I make it go all underground to connect up to the purple line? Because that's going to run round, and then we'll bring it in. And I can see us then splitting here on a 4-lane station, where that kind of brings us into that way to connect up to there. Right, which is eventually going to lead into more of Long Island up towards the north. So that sounds pretty exciting. So I feel like we might need to create this junction now. So let me just delete you. And We're going to have to do a station crossing over there and then a 4-lane underneath. Well, that is a 4-lane now. I don't know if it needs to be a 4. But I'll keep it open anyway because you just never know at this point. You just never, ever know. So building stations, we'll go quad and we'll make this one go down by a -10. So that would run like that. And then we'll bring it back up to -5. Now, do I continue? I'm going to continue the quad there because you never know if it's going to be handy. And then that's our little connection there. So we'll do build tracks. We've got the quad on the go. We'll bring that round and then we'll connect you directly in. Right, that's where that's going to then connect up to the purple line down here. We'll kind of bend it round. Because it's going to cross over the blue line anyway, but at least allow it to have a closer kind of a transition over into Manhattan. But there's 2 lines that are going to be running through this, which is what the important part of this is all about. So we'll come back to that extension at some point. Let's go back now to the parallel stations. Oh, no, we're still doing quad. We are still doing quad. It is a -10 there, so I've got to figure out where the bend's going to take place. So actually, let me just continue to do our line this way. So that's going to bend round. We're going to bring it up this way. So we'll do a nice little stop there. And right, we're actually going to have to go a little bit lower. So can I get away with a -10? I can there. So I'm going to pull this one here to a -10 so I'm already got the depth. We'll do you there, pretty close by, but very, very important at the same time. And I'm going to keep it to a -10 anyway now, because we're going to now need to transition onto the 4-lane system. And I'll do that last station here. So if we keep that on a -10, and then we'll keep the one that continues to be on a -5, and that should hopefully work out. So I've got to get it to run up this way, to run onto this line there. Oh, no, sorry, no. It's actually this way. So is there a better way in which I can... I think, actually, thinking about it, this here is the quad station, where one then continues to go that way, and then one's going to obviously turn this way. Gives me the space. It does give me the space. Right, so building tracks. Let's see where we can then run this. And can I make it cross the water? I can, but I wonder what makes more sense. Can I just do this? Yeah, baby. I can. Right, perfection, perfection, perfection. Let's build the junction here then. So I know this is going to be a -10, so I want one that is going to be a -5. And I'll just take it where the station is over here. Oh no, we're still on quad there, aren't we? Just there, so that's our complete separation in all its glory. Right, going back to a -10. I'm going to try now and run parallel on these tracks. From there, we bend that round and then in. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I think. I think. And then I'm going to run this track just like this. And then it should be a simple transit. Oh, not that way, sorry. No, this way. Should be a simple transition at least. We'll bring it to here. And then... Oh, I forgot. We've also got to do the elevation. So I'm just trying to figure out what makes the most amount of sense. Because I'm not liking how it's trying to bend down. So I'm going to undo this. And let me put it to a -10 from the get-go. So I can then figure out where it makes then sense. So I'm already at the height now at this point. Right, I'm already at the height there, so it just kind of swoops in pretty nice. So from the actual station now, going back the opposite direction, we need to get this to the point where it's able to cross over. So we're... Oh, okay, that was... It worked out to be a little bit too easy. I was expecting more of a fight there, if I'm being completely honest with you. I was expecting a little bit more of a fight. But that does the magic beautifully. That does the magic beautifully, running in, and then that will eventually make its way all the way up to there, which we'll do in just a second. So that creates our transition. I'm going to have to delete all this and then redo these Chrissy crossover stations. And I don't know whether, if I'm bringing 2 in this direction, do I continue to allow 1 to turn up? And maybe run in a different direction, or maybe I make 1 go diagonal. I'll have to figure that one out in just a minute, but let's just get all the train tracks now in. So we figured it out. I don't know how we figured it out, but we figured it out. So let's now get the rest of this all now connected. And I think this is a -10 here to go underneath this building. So let's just swoop you in. And then it should be fairly easy to get you all connected. And keep it... Oh! I'm about to say keep it going, but there's a building there it doesn't like. Did you just see that red bubble just come from this area? Little do they know right now, we are about to give them a closer train station. Right, that runs in perfect. I like it when the plan comes together. Right, let me get to there. Bend this round. Bend it in. Bendy Wendy. Bendy Wendy boys. Nice. Right, that's going to eventually connect though. Do I do that now? I think I might just do it now. And just allow that connection to run into there. So it's on the inner side. And then we have this outer side that could extend that way as well. Oh, and then that's what's going to differentiate it between the 2 lines running from LaGuardia. One continues to go down to JFK. Ah, now it makes sense, see? I remember what I was originally planning. Right, let's commit to those blueprints. So 2.55 billion, we're going to build them. And then what we'll do is we'll then delete all of the stations that we originally had on the south loop line. So let's get rid of all of this. Might be a bit of a pain to get rid of, because everything's all built slow and steady. And like I said, was I going to make it continue? Hold on, because it does run on a 4-line system. And that 4-line system kind of ends here where it would have bent in. Now, is that going... Are we going to do something with that, actually? So let me check my demand stats. I think it could be the line that kind of spurts out to run a little bit this way, so it kind of gives a little bit more coverage with the 3 lines ending in this vicinity. I think so, but am I going to have too many lines? I could make the line that comes this way come down and then spurt out. I don't know. It also doesn't have to. It can just generically end there. It doesn't have to. Now, I don't think the north loop line is going to come in with 2 lines. I think that might just continue as 1 line, because there's less places for it to go. So what I'm saying is, what I'm saying is we are going to keep it in. We're going to keep it in, but obviously I need to transfer over to the 4-lined system. So if I just delete that, and then we're going to go build stations, and I can't remember the depths now that I'm currently at, but this seems to work. We have to go super low there. And then we were running all on these sections, weren't we? Now, are we low enough that we can run through all these buildings? Now, it looks like the clearance is not enough there, so I'll bring this down. This is going to be super expensive now, by the way, but we're bringing it down to a -15. And we'll see if we can go through the center of it all. Oh, do I want to try and connect to the Peach line? Because the Peach line is that was an addition after the loop system, but there'll be too many stations there at that point, wouldn't there? I could do it like that, where it's walkable. Now, they're super close together, aren't they? So I can't really do much about that. But it's to try and get that transition. In my head, in like real life, they would have like underground tunnels that link all these stations, and they'll kind of then feel like it's all the same station, wouldn't it? That's what would kind of happen. Right. So a parallel then. So if that's going to continue, I'm going to keep this to a -15 for the depth. But I could, workers, I could slightly pull it into here. There's not really that much going on, but there is some worker places which are kind of important that we do reach. So, yeah, we'll continue. Now, the only downside is it doesn't transition well for the brown line. It doesn't transition well for the brown line to extend over there, because they're going to have to like come in to then go back out. And that's the real pain of it. But that's the life they're going to have to lead, unfortunately. That is the life they're going to have to lead. Right, let's continue. So I'm going to keep it down to a -. And I'm going to put this one just running here. So it's in our straight line system. And then you can kind of see where a line does run. It's almost as we got to cross it over there, but my link system is over here instead. What a pain, what a pain. Right, I'm going to bring this one here, and then we're going to terminate just there. Right, it's super low, and it doesn't need to be that low, but at this moment in time, I've got so much cash in the bank, I don't know what to do with it. I honestly don't know what to do with it. So, is this going to run in as our parallel? What's the center tracks here? The center tracks are continuing. Yes. Okay, perfect, perfect, perfect. So, from there to there, we got to go deeper than this. Oh no. Now this is where I should be doing elevated, but I'm not gonna. All right, get it to there. Oh, hold on. Sorry, boy. You're meant to be doing quad on this section. You're meant to be doing quad. No, I can't do anything. Oh, am I too low here? Right, we've got an issue now with crossing over this. I didn't really check this. But if I go a 10, obviously I can't cross it because there's something not right. But just like that, and we're all good. We are all good. Right, there's some serious depths here now. So we want to bring this into a -20 is what we're going to have to do here. So I'll bow it down and round. We'll line it all up and then we'll run it directly in. Okay, sweet. This is a long extension, by the way. I know this is taking longer than it should, but it's kind of complicated because I'm inadvertently also trying to figure out all the connections of the other lines on them. So we need to end it then with a crossover here, right? And then we're going to need to also make sure we got the crossover because we'll just end it over here for now. And then we'll just do it like that. Right, that is one heck of a line extension right there. So that cost there is just that little extension there was more than all of this because of the depths. 3.3 billion. Let's build those blueprints. Right. That's now all in. I'll just configure the final run of the secondary line that runs on this previous bottom loop system, which extends all the way up to there. And then we'll get it to just cross over this station and just get it to terminate there for now. And then we'll figure out how it runs up this way, and then we're going to be all good. So, if that's going to run to there, we've got to figure out where it makes sense for that line. I mean, first things first, I've got to also get it connected in. So, singular tracks. From there. So if I ran that to there, I can run you to here. Bring you slightly out. Run you into there. Right, that is now connected. So the outer line track there can kind of run up. And we just want to figure out where it's going to end. So if this is going to be a singular coming in, which is perfect, where would that end? Now, obviously, I don't want it to end at a station like that, but I've got an idea here. Okay, just hear me out on this one. Hear me out. Where's my delete button? I'm actually going to delete the tracks up to that point and delete you back. So it crosses there, build a station, which I know it doesn't need to be that deep down, but I'm just going to cross the station like this. And then build the tracks from there to there. And that's where that one, for now, will kind of terminate, but I can see it with the blue line extending over, going diagonal at some point, okay? You can see where that's going. But I want to end it like that for now. And also for now, what I'm going to do is, because I don't want to spend too much time trying to get this all figured out. But if I do my single track, can I just do this? Just for the train to turn around there to come back down. So I'll make them lines just terminate here for now. Because that's an outer one, I'll do the little flippy trick. And of course, I'll add a crossover there. Right, in my head, that's where they're just going to end for now. Okay, so in my head, got it perfect. Good, 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 good. And then we're going to connect this up. And it's all magic. It's going to be all magic, boys. So I'll do a -5, save a few pennies. And I don't really know how many I'm going to be saving, but we'll save a few pennies. And then we'll go here. And then we'll go there. So that will connect into there, which that is also a 4-lined system, which I forgot about that being 4 lines. Now, I could keep it 4, or I can turn it into a 2. I might just keep it as a 4, and then we'll figure out if there's anything that we can kind of do with it. So cross in there, cross in there, and we're just going to end it for there for now. So let's just get all the tracks pre-built. And for some reason, a -5 is not looking good here. Really? Right, we'll bring it to a -10 then. That I don't know what that is there then, but that's pretty deep. That is pretty deep. I'm going to undo and then bring this. Oh, that must be super deep. Oh, because that's got to go multiple like depths. So I think that there might be like a -15 actually. I think that might be a -15. Right, that's all in. Did I get the crisscrossing over here? No, let me quickly throw that in. I feel like this has been I don't know if anybody else feels like it now watching this, but this feels like it's been quite a big project just to get to this point. So the purple line is going to obviously connect into this way, which runs down there beautifully. My only concern with that is there's nothing... Oh no, because we can have them extend. I say about the red line going to Staten Island, but they're going to cross over, and it kind of crosses both over on those as well. Okay, that's all done. I can now commit and build 2 lines. So one goes that way, all the way up. One crosses all the way over here. Then I've got the green light to extend the blue line and the purple line going north. But we'll also figure out at the same time how we're doing the northern part of the original loop. This is stressful, to say the least. Exactly 1 billion to build this beautiful part of it right now. 1 billion. So build these blueprints. And we commit to it. And we are going to be done. Right, nice. Now the difficult part. Finding a colour for the lines. That is the difficult part right there. Alrighty. Now I can use the colours that we originally had for the loop line system, which were kind of like this colour. What would I say this colour is right now? I'm going to call it aqua. Okay. Have I spelled aqua right? You know when you just look at a word? I've probably spelled it wrong. And for some reason I can't figure out how you spell aqua right now. Teal? Would you say that's a teal colour? Teal line? I'm just going to go with teal. I'm just going to go with the teal line right now. So edit the route. And then we get right in on that right side there. And keep this going. Now it's the inner side of the loop system. Making sure I'm on the right one there. It's a little bit difficult when you do crisscrossing. There's like multiple platforms at the same time. Bam, 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 bam. Ba-bam, 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 ba-bam. Right, keep this going. Bam, bam. And then the final one for this one, which will be just in there. Perfection. Now that is a beautiful line extension, boys. A beautiful line extension. So what do we now need to do to finalize all of this? Well, we're now going to have to add the trains in. So it takes 30 minutes to do that, which is interesting. So confirm those changes. And then we're going to go to the trains, and let me now just reduce this frequency to 5 mins. So I'll do 14. That's going to be about a 7, right? Yeah, and that'll be about a 4. 5? Okay, we'll go 5. We'll go 5. Double the capacity. That now has the green light to go. So we'll see what that does in the long run, how useful that's going to be and how many people are going to be using it. But it does extend beautifully more than the loop line did. Now, our previous 2 loop lines, you got to remember, we're both doing about 90-odd thousand each line. So we're hoping that these new lines that I'm building are going to carry more people than that. So that's the teal line. I don't. It's more of a turquoise color, isn't it? I feel like. What should we go next? Oh, should we do this one? This is like a brown, like what would you say that is? It's like a rotten egg color. That's like a poop color. I'm gonna say that color is. I'm going to call it, it's not gold, but I'm going to call it the gold line. Gold. I'm very well aware that it's not gold. Right, the gold line. And we're going to edit the route. So in reality, it's going to start here. No. It's on the outer line here. Now, I won't make it go back to there. That's not what I'm going to make it do. Because it's already stopping at that station anyway. It's going to go on all of the outers. Oi. All of the outers. Running down. Now, this one is going to be a little bit of a pain to get done. There's actually quite a lot of stops in this 4-line system. I didn't realise there was that many coming all the way down. Right, beautifully. Running on all the outers now coming through here. Keep this going. Oi, and you. Right, glorious. Bam, bam. Crossing over. Bam, bam. Bam, bam. Right, now we're on to the single section, which this is now easy. Can't really mess these up now, can I? Unless I don't click one of them. Running all the way down. Bam, bam. Oh, we're on the inners now on this section. And then, oh, still going. There's another crossover, isn't there? Yeah, we're stopping here. So let me just go onto the right side of this one. And that's a 30-minute line as well. Confirm those changes. And that runs with some lines, shares some lines, and has some separate lines all at the same time. So there'll be a lot of crossovers on this one. Right. 5 minute. 14. 7. 5. That's what we'll do. And they are now working all together as well. Right, perfect. Absolute perfection right there. So the easiest setup now then is doing the purple line linking onto all of this. But we're going to have to also rework this little setup as well. So I don't want it to turn in no more. I want it to continue. So there is a 4-lane system on this bit, which I'm probably not going to utilize. So let me just get rid. But weirdly, and this is the weird bit right now, I'm probably gonna, I mean, that's gonna go north. There's 2 lines that can come from there. One's gonna continue. Hold on. Right, okay, I've just figured it out. This is actually quite interesting. So, if I just get rid of this station here, and let me just get rid of all of this. Right, delete. I'm going to have 2 lines come down here, one that goes straight over, one that's going to go pretty much up towards the Bronx. Now, running on this, that's also going to go to the Bronx, probably on that same line as that train coming from that airport, is the light blue line that I'm bringing up. So it will cross over there as that's crossing over there and then turning in. So there's going to be an interesting merge while that one's going north through all of them. Right. Okay, this is going to be an interesting one. So I need 4... or a quad, and we'll do it at 10, and we'll do it just there. And then I'll do one just here, and then that's leading up to there. So let me just get this track in. Right, this might sound confusing, but I've got this nailed right now. Okay, maybe not right now. Oi. Right, the transition, it's too low. Too low or too high? Undo. I think it might be too... That might be like a minus 15. Actually, it might be a 20. No. Is it a 10? Whoa, we're spinning. What happened then? This might be... What is that depth? So there, it's a 6. Ah. Wait, is that ground level? No, it can't be. Right, it's not liking this platform. Luckily, I can delete it. So let me just delete that to there. Build stations. And I'm going to make this a minus 50. No, I'm going to make it a minus 20. Does mean I'm going to have to redo that strip there. So let me delete you. Build tracks from there. What? Ta-da! I don't need a crisscross because they're going to run through it then at that point. And then that goes into there. Right, that's now done. That was a little bit more painful than it should have been. Just a little bit. So then underneath this, which I will do a minus 10, we have our quad station. Or minus 5 then. Actually, no, that's elevated, isn't it? So that would be plus 5. Because that's pretty much elevated running down to there. Plus 5 there. So that's coming up as well. So we go back to the minuses now at this point. So we'll go minus 5. You got the... Only one train track is running across that way. So we'll add in the station... Well, let me delete this. So add in said station there, where that one crosses over. So build tracks. Delete tracks. Well, that must be super low. And then that is just going to run normally. Like that. So that runs into there completely fine. And we are then going to want not that to run that way. That's going to run more north. So the turn there and that is going to meet over here. So we'll do our quad station now. And we'll do it a minus 15. And I'm going to place it just there. Right. Parallel. I'm now going to keep... Because this is elevated. So I won't drop that down until further down. That's going to run that way. So we'll have a station here for the elevated. And then can that go over there? No, we'll do it just here. Right, build these tracks. All right. This is getting quite complex, and I've never had to do it this complex before. So that bridges up and over, and then I want to get that into there. So I wonder if I can do it so short there, which I can. Right, okay, so now minus. So I'll do a minus 10. Where we cross over here. Oh, that's not a station. Where we cross over there. And then that one will cross just there. It's quite a complex little junction here, but it actually does, in reality, flow quite well. Now, is this outer or inner? This is going to be inner. So we're not really going to be utilizing the outer tracks. At the minute, I have no plans for that. Now, let me just end that line there. It will eventually extend. But let me just end it there for now. And we'll get the purple line all linked on it. So I want to bend this all the way around now. So let's add in some more stations. So definitely do one there. And then that's kind of going to cut through. So... we'll incorporate one here. And I'll do one just here. And then build my tracks. So there to there. There to there. There to there. And then there to there. Right, so let's commit to those blueprints then. We'll extend the purple line. So build blueprints. And then it's the light blue line and others. What an extension. What an expansion, boys. Right, that purple line. Let's edit the line itself. So now it does both stops there. Very good, very good, very good. So both there. We go both here. It's in the middle of that one. In the middle of them four. This and this. This and this. And then here, here, and then on the right-hand side, just there. So that's extending it from like just under 30 minutes, add an extra 17, 18 minutes on top of this route. So first we confirm the changes, and then we add a few... oh, we need to buy some more trains. So let's add in... we've got 37 billion in the bank, by the way. So let me now just quickly buy 200 carriages. There we go. Increase this down to 5 minutes, which will be 18. That will be 10. That will be 7. That's fine by me. Right, purple line extended, which it will go further. It will, of course, go further. But for now, that's glorious. That is glorious. So the blue line's going to run through all of this. Which that's another pretty pain in the back right now, isn't it? But luckily for us, I think it's underground here at this point. And we can actually keep it. But oh, how did I miss? How did I miss a station here for the gold line to cross over? Okay, that's going to annoy me. So I'll come back to that. But I will add in now a new line. Okay, we'll add in a new line now, boys. Custom color. And what colors are we not utilizing the most of? I feel like we need something like... I'd say like another version of like a red line. I think would be pretty good. So red. What if you go like... what color would you call that? Like a burnt orange? I have an orange line. I have a red line. That feels like it could be a... the sun line. Even though the sun is yellow. No, the fire line. How about that? The fire line. Create route. Let's see how far this fire line can go. So edit the route. And we'll start there. So just get these on. I'd rather get the existing lines finished now that I can do before I add in the extension of the blue line. We might actually have to wait till next episode because there's actually a lot more configuring needed for that light blue line than I originally thought. And I feel like we've done so much already, which is absolutely perfection. But a little bit more needs to be done. Right, they're on the inside of all of this. So keep it going. And I think this is the one that's going to run all the way to JFK. So it's another line that acts as a supporting line between LaGuardia and JFK. But this is coming through Manhattan and obviously to New Jersey. So it makes it easier for people to transfer to and from the airport. Can't quite get that one there. But that gold route, I've made one big miscalculation on where it crosses on the light blue line. And I'm not particularly sure how I didn't spot that. Right, running all the way down. Keeping it going. Oh, I actually don't know how it ends in JFK. I can't quite remember. Now, it's on the middle, so it should just end on a crisscross. Which would be the right side just there. And that is a 40-minute line. Confirm those changes. And then we're going to quickly do the trains themselves. So 10 carriages. Bring it down to 5 minutes. So we'll do 16. 8. 6. And that helps the blue line because it runs on the blue line from this point onwards. So yeah, big miscalculation there for a stop. And I'm not sure how I didn't spot that. Because I've got that one in there perfect for it. And that's going to connect into there and continue up. And then the other line, that's probably going to, it's going to come from this direction. That's going to merge onto there. It's going to run up. And then at this point here, it's going to cross over there with another separate station. And then bend round here and then merge into that. So you get a couple of different merges in this point, which is interesting. Rather than running them all together, we're going to slightly bypass a hop and skip. And it should work out. Right, give that time for that to run then. So all I'm now missing is that blue line. Ooh, historic day as first trains roll through New York. It's been 98 days since we started, boys. That's not too bad. So that blue line's going to run up all the way through here and then connect up to that extension there. There's another line that needs to kind of come around and then up as well. But we're now pushing towards the Bronx, boys. We could see Bronx expansions next episode. And I know there was one dude in the video of the last episode going, Seniac, I can't wait for the next title to be expanding my company to the Bronx. So hopefully next episode is going to be just for you right now. Now, obviously, not enough time has passed by in the game yet to kind of fully see where all these lines are technically sitting. But what I can say, boys, is that gold line, hint, hint, wink, wink, is doing pretty well. Doing real well right now. That teal line is doing really well as well. So that gold and teal that run on the south of the previous loop are transporting more passengers than the loop lines did themselves. The purple line extension is a huge hit as well. That's doing pretty good at the same time. Everyone's intertwined. Everyone is getting connected. But there's one big hole in this flawed system. That's that light blue line is not fully extending all the way up just yet. No sirree. But with all these line extensions, it does bring more passengers to other lines. So everything is just climbing in numbers as we speak. So what does that now do for our demand stats? Puts us firmly into the 20%, up to 21 right there. It does take a while for it to kind of consistently keep updating. But you can see there's a red patch there. There's red patches around here. So once that light blue line extends through all of this, it should kind of cover them pretty well. It should kind of cover them pretty well, boys. But I think that is the perfect extension. So, we're going to end it here. I hope you did enjoy this episode. If you did, please smash that like button down below. Subscribe if you are new around here so you do get notified when more episodes do come out. But until next time, I'll see you all soon. So, goodbye.